The film starts showing such place which was turning into extreme cold climate, and an aircraft was buried under the frost. How did it approach here? In order to get the information about it, a research team drills the frosty area with laser, and they enter the aircraft. It's becoming more challenging to enter there. One of the researchers saw something. It resembles the spherical shield of Captain America, given that it had a star and was blue and red. They are therefore confident that it is Captain America's shield. But where did it come from? He will be in the plane, right? There are lots of questions. The action is now in the past. Where German soldiers dominated is a city. On the orders of their chief, they are looking for an old and mysterious object. Once everyone has failed to find it, the military commander himself visits a priest, where he gets the crystalline cube. He picks it, knowing that it is not real. He asks priest, "Where is that object which I want to search?" That commander breaks that unreal crystalline cube when priest does not reply him, and he asks him again, "Tell me where it is." Priest says to him, "No, it is not for you, because you are not God, and that thing can only be attained by God, because he had courage to bear such strongest power." When the priest says nothing, he starts looking for it on his own. He takes a mysterious wall. On it, a button is fixed. He presses it, and a box appears. The crystalline cube is actually real, which stars should release light. From here, the scene changes. Since the last event, a year has passed. Boys of all ages can be seen here. One more boy by the name Steve was there. He also serves as the movie's main character. Now, Steve wanted to join in the military. However, he wasn't selected because of several physical disabilities. A policeman named Bucky Barnes is now introduced to Steve. He is informed by Steve that I want to join the military, but it never happened that I may be recruited. I was rejected time and again. Then Bucky Barnes tells him that I will show such object tonight. You will be pleased seeing it. It is a festival where you can see things in the future. They now go there at night and have fun. They catch a glimpse of an odd fellow there, but they keep having fun. Once more, Steve approaches Barnes after recognizing himself in the picture of the military unit. Is it possible for me to ever join the military? I'm highly inspired to defend my country, and nobody, in my opinion, is as enthusiastic. Barnes informs him, "Steve, you don't feel well." At this point, a doctor with glasses observes their chat there as well. Anyhow, Steve knows at the same time that military officers are being chosen there for future. He immediately goes to submit the forms, but a man disqualifies him there. As your forms revealed that you have been disqualified again and again, there must be a cause. Then that doctor appears there who had listened their conversation. That doctor was also the scientist. He interviews Steve, and he stamps on his form IA. It abbreviates First Avenger Captain America. Steve himself is not able to know it. Now the scene turns to military force. These forces' commanders arrive on the scene. A man colonel and a female agent named Peggy Carter are present. "Do you know?" the police ask the scientist. Military personnel are given multiple tasks and operations. How am I supposed to accept that Steve is a better option? An explosion is thrown there by the scientist or the doctor. Upon seeing it, all soldiers start to run in an effort to save their lives, while Steve is lying down on the approaching grenade in order to sacrifice himself and ensure the safety of others. Those present are all highly impressed by it, and Steve is hired by the military colonel. On the other side, a man Red Skull is seen. He is researching the powers of crystalline cube, working with his companion, and he tries to extract such power while using it, which can help the aircraft to fly for the 4 or 5 days. It means that no fuel is required for it, and they may also provide the energy in each battle, so they may get the victory. After several days of work, the Red Skull scientist succeeds in creating such a machine. It will absorb the crystalline cube's energy. It will then change into their weapons. On the other side, Peggy Carter, a military representative, drives Steve to his hometown. It indicates where Steve had come from, because there was the doctor's amazing equipment. This might increase any person's strength. and it had been developed for military use. The mysterious man who was present at the event and who invented this device was the same. That doctor created the serum that was utilized in it, so his name was added to the list of its creators, and it was he who used to take care of its maintenance. Steve had brought here for this super soldier treatment through this machine. Now Steve is placed in Thais Vita Ray's chamber, and its setting is set, turning it on. A lot of Vita rays start to emit from the machine as it vibrates. Inside, Steve is screaming. He is not bearing up this procedure, while just passing 70% of the photons through the Vita ray chamber. The machine begins to release rays. Additionally, the screams of Steve are becoming louder. The machine will be turned off, it is decided. However, Steve says, "I have courage. I can handle it." Boost the ray's strength to 100%. The amount of radiation has now been boosted by 100%. As the Vita Ray's chamber opens, everyone is shocked to see Steve. Due to his development of muscle, he also appears to be incredibly strong. Then an assassin arrives, grabs the serum, and shoots the doctor, which was injected to make Steve powerful. The same serum which is used in that Vita Ray chamber. Doctor is badly wounded. Steve comes to him, and he says that I will never let you die, and I will bring that serum back. Now Steve starts to run after that assassin, but that assassin is escaping in his car speedily. Now Steve eventually had transformed into Captain America. He instantly begins to pursue him. Driving his car through various streets, the assassin was making his getaway. Therefore, Captain America was not your typical hero. While jumping greatly, he goes to others. That assassin now moves into the sea and starts to make an escape in his boat. Then again, Captain America catches him. But prior to it, he had poisoned his body. He therefore does not live. The US military cannot build more super soldiers since Steve is aware that the doctor is no longer alive and the serum has disappeared. Thus, they choose Steve to be Captain America, and he will be in charge of every soldier because he was the only one with greater strength than the others. One day, Captain America comes to know in a congregation that his officer Bucky Barnes in the custody of Red Skull, because he had started a campaign against Red Skull and his members, in which he himself was caught. Captain America starts preparation that he will go to rescue his friend Bucky Barnes and his members. He enters the area and the firing begins. However, Captain America makes plans to get there somehow. While entering, he notices that Bucky is confined with a stretcher. He might not be fully aware and be lost. He is released and Captain America goes there. Therefore, Barnes is at ease while watching Captain America. "Are you okay?" Captain America asks him. Then, while touching his body, Bucky Barnes says to him, "You have grown muscular." When they see one another, they become excited. As they start to leave, the place is blast. All timers start to burn, and the military officials begin to fire and engage in battle. On the one side, Captain America and Barnes reach to the bridge. Then there is also Red Skull before them. Red Skull is going to kill Captain America, moving towards him. But Captain America shields himself. As a result, Red Skull becomes furious, and he throws his mask into the fire, taking it off. So his red face begins to appear clearly. Then Red Skull parts that bridge so Captain America and Barnes may not move forward. Then he escapes from there, taking his scientists. Now Captain America rescues himself and takes Barnes and his team to the military. Colonel and Force like their presence. The Captain America is encouraged. Additionally, a party is planned for your enjoyment. I had caught a glimpse of a chart in that room where Barnes got trapped when I attempted to rescue him. Captain America explains to the other military personnel in this group. On Red Skull, many national flags had been stuck. It also suggests that he will launch an attack on our countries after we do. Therefore, we must be aware about it. Why don't we help to save such nations? The public will respect us and start to depend on us. They all get ready with Captain America, and they begin to make their weapons ready. Their Captain America is given a new shield. Now Captain America leads his force to a moving train. There was Red Skull's scientist in it. They had come there to capture him. Captain America sends the whole force into the train, while some soldiers are on the train. When Barnes is also climbing that train with the help of rope, the train drives at the perilous place, and Barnes falls down. Now the scientist of Red Skull is in their custody. When Colonel interrogates him, then he comes to know that Red Skull has really planned to attack those countries, and its information is at their camp. Captain America says to his force without delaying that we will reach there, riding on the bikes, and he begins to drive bike to their base while passing the woods and the desolate areas. Captain America and his companions reach his base after a struggle, where Red Skull had known about their arrival before. He makes ready his aircraft and he is going to leave that place. But how can that Captain America let him go as such? So he also begins to chase his companions, arranging a car. The Colonel and Peggy Carter are also present in the car. Captain America quickly drives the car to get to that aeroplane. Captain America gets inside his plane and starts looking for him. As Red Skull emerges from behind him, he attacks his hand. He starts shooting it with a laser gun that he is holding in his hand, but Captain America was on the case and grabbed it. Prior to falling down, Red Skull is seen dragging his legs. Additionally, Captain America does the same. They are falling each other down, catching legs and waists. Red Skull was also not behind, and he was equally attacking. So Captain America throws him on a machine while lifting him up. As a result, the aircraft system begins to create problem, and it starts to fall down. Now Red Skull reaches the flight control system while pushing Captain America, and he begins to fly the aircraft again, setting it accurately. Then he again moves to Captain America with his laser gun, and he threatens him, "How dare you?" But Captain America rescues himself while folding his body and using his circular shield. He protects himself against the laser blast. The crystalline cube container is currently damaged and is about to collapse, and Red Skull picks it up after that. It begins to spark and is quite energetic, which penetrates into the Red Skull body. Then it became clear that the Red Skull had also vanished. He might not be able to handle its intensity. Crystalline cube hits the aircraft's underside and melts it. It falls off the plane. The flight control system of the aeroplane is now where Captain America enters. He learns that Red Skull intended to use this aircraft to attack other nations. Because missiles and grenades were also present, Captain America thinks that there has not left any chance for me. The aircraft will automatically begin to throw the missile at that place if time is over, and I don't want that my country may be destroyed. So he decides to sacrifice his life, so he may crash this aircraft in the frosty area, so the blasting may confine to that place, and the population or any human being may not get any harm. So he reveals the whole story to Peggy Carter while calling. "That Peggy, I am sacrificing my life." Here Peggy is grieved. She had perhaps started to like him. Either she may not like him. But the scene was too sentimental. At last, Captain America crashes his own aircraft in the area of Arctic. So it has been seen in the start of the movie that research team has found the circular shield of Captain America in the aircraft buried in frosty area. That was related to this incident. Then that machine's inventor is seen who finds the crystalline cube from the water. Then they say, if crystalline cube may be found, so why not our Captain America? Research team also finds Captain America soon, and he is brought into the consciousness because 70 years had passed. Captain America regained consciousness and was stable because he possessed serum's abilities. He is confined in an ancient chamber with an old environment. A radio is also present. Therefore, Captain America wonders how he got into the future. However, the most recent match commentary is currently playing on the radio. Captain America says, "I watched this game as a spectator. How is the live commentary going?" He runs and goes outside. Then, after they have met, a man says to him, "Oh, you left the house. We had planned to inform you progressively so that you wouldn't be confused." "Okay, you have known it, so also understand it. I like it that you are so wise." So the part I of this movie completes on this scene.